So today is the 20th of April, and instead of showing you my face, I'm just showing you a book because I haven't brushed my hair today and I look like a crazy woman. So I'm actually really excited. I know you're looking at a Christmas book and it's April, but there is a story to this book. So, um, back in December, well, actually, it would have been closer to November actually, last year, my friend and I were talking about cookbooks, and I had sent her a link of this beautiful Christmas cookbook that I had found on Amazon. And I sent her the link and was like, this is super cute, so amazing. I was like, after Christmas, when I don't have to worry about, Christmas and buying presents and things like this is a cookbook that I would love to get for myself. And lo and behold, she surprised me with this cookbook. Now, the reason why I'm showing it to you now and not at Christmas time is because it's just arrived. So, what had happened was she had ordered this cookbook off of Amazon. Now, originally, it said that it was an Australian store. It was not, however, and it came from America. So it took a long time to get here, and it didn't arrive until after Christmas. And she had originally sent it so that it would come directly to my house. Then I get a message and she's like, oh my god, I messed up. I did the stupidest thing. I forgot to change the address for this book and it came to my house instead of yours. So that was in January. So then she sends it out, and it got she sends it to me because she lives in New South Wales. I live in Queensland. Like, she's in Sydney, I'm in Brisbane. And she sends it to me, and then it gets sent back to her because there was a little bit of an error with the weight of the parcel or something like that, right? So we got busy, like, we laughed about it, we got busy, and we both actually forgot about it. And then we remembered, and she's like, oh my god, I'm an idiot. I haven't sent you a parcel yet, which I was totally not, didn't bother me at all. She's amazing and so generous and often sends me amazing things. And I honestly was so happy that she even thought to buy this book for me because it was such a generous gift. And then, so that happened. And then I had placed an order through her store. She has an online store. She sells handmade melts, that like wax melts that she makes herself. And so she decided to send it all, like the book, with my order, right? And then obviously Corona hit and we went into lockdown, and Australia Post is taking forever. And so it took a long time to get here. First, there was a delay with the post office picking it up. And then once they got it, they took their time to actually, send it, like actually deliver it to me. So it's finally here. It's made it. I'm excited. You have no idea. So this company is called Gooseberry Patch. I think it's just Gooseberry Patch. And basically, this is an American company. And they make these wonderful cookbooks, and not just Christmas ones. They make cookbooks for all different types of things, but this one is the Cozy Christmas Comforts Cookbook, and it's just adorable, you guys. It reminds me of like the vintage style cookbooks that your grandma would have, type of thing. They've got that style of like spine on it. It's like a plastic spine, and it says Cozy Christmas Comfort on it. This is going to take pride and joy in my bookcase, and oh my god, the amazing recipes that are in this. Oh, I can't wait to try them. But basically, it's like an old style cookbook. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Adorable. So this is one you can send in your own recipes, because the recipes that are in this book actually come from people. Like people all over, I believe, America and Canada and places like that. So you can actually send in your recipes to possibly be featured in the next cookbook. And this is a Christmas edition. And not only that, what I love about this has illustrations in it, and it just makes me think of a vintage book, and I love it. It's just adorable. And it's just so sweet. So at the very beginning of this book, this one has sweet Christmas memories, and it's actually people from all over the place that wrote in about really sweet memories that they have of their Christmas and traditions and things, and I just think it's wonderful. So there's all these beautiful stories from people all over the place. Absolutely amazing stories, and there's several pages of like memories, and I'm just in love. And I love the sweet illustrations, like I said before, just adorable. And there's like a lot of memories in this one, which I think really adds to it. It makes this cookbook feel homey and like it's come from family type of thing. I know that probably sounds silly, but it just, yeah, it does to me. So wonderful. So that's all the Christmas memories. And then it's broken up into like different sections. So you've got holiday breakfast and brunch, and none of it's in color, it's all in black and white, and then some of the text is in green. But you've got your recipes. So like this one here, Christmas egg casserole, French toast with honey cranberries. Yes, sounds amazing. Vanilla streusel coffee cake, heavenly hotcakes, angel syrup. These are just amazing. Sausage and spinach, egg bake, tomato, cheese quiche, and it has the person that submitted the recipe and where they're from. So this one, like, is just, yeah, it's so amazing. Just perfect hot cocoa. Oh my god, so delightful, you guys. And then it has celebrations with family and friends. So you have like all sorts of things like dried fruit and cream cheese roulade. Stuffed potato skins, Jubilee bubbly punch. Let's see. The next section is scrumptious salads and sides. So you have like Susan's pasta slaw, shoe-peg corn salad, cheesy corn salad. Like, it's just amazing. It really truly is. The next section is home for the holidays. Easy turkey tacos, nacho chip casserole, Santa Fe chicken and rice casserole. Ugh, amazing. I can't wait to try this out. Then you have homemade cookies and desserts. You know that's where I'm going. So you got grandma's frosted shortcake cookies, soft coffee cookies, cherry pistachio cookies, thumbprint cookies. Oh my god, meringue pecan bars. Yes. Chocolate Christmas fudge. Easy peanut butter fudge, holiday haystack cookies, cranberry caramel cake, warm winter lemon cake. Oh my god, this sounds amazing. These are just, yes. So I love this, you guys. I truly do. Then it has like your index, and then it goes on to, yeah. So that is the wonderful, wonderful book that my friend gave me for Christmas, and I'm excited. And now I'm obsessed with this book, and I'm going to collect all the recipe books from Gooseberry Patch. Yes, they're adorable. I love it. And how adorable is this cover, you guys? I love it so much. And then it just has a little bit about Joanne and Vicky, which is these two ladies here. So I believe they're the two ladies that actually started this company. But this is just wonderful. I really, really like this, and I seriously cannot wait to start using this cookbook, you guys. I haven't really done much reading, so I will update you later on that, and I will see you guys later. Bye! Hi guys, so today is the 22nd of April. It's Wednesday. And I'm sitting in my messy office at the moment. My bookshelves need a total clean. But I wanted to give you a quick update on my reading because we all know I haven't really been reading much lately, but I did read some stuff last night. So, I'm currently reading In at Eagle Point by Cheryl Woods. This is the first book in the Chesapeake Shores novel series, whatever you want to call it. And I haven't got that far in. I'm only 49 pages in. But I'm really enjoying this so far. This very much gives me the same type of vibes as the Rose Harbour Inn one from Debbie Macomber. So basically it is about Abby O'Brien, and she lives in New York currently, but she comes from Chesapeake Shores where her family lives, and she goes back to help out her baby sister who has bought an inn, and the inn is going into foreclosure because she hasn't been able to make the payments. That's kind of as far as I've gotten into, but what I have read so far I'm actually really enjoying. So there is that book. Then the next book I'm reading is The Love Shack by Jane Costello. I am, forgive me, I just ate a chocolate chip cookie and all I can feel is crumbs. So I'm on page 92, and this is about Dan and Gemma who are wanting to buy a house, and they fall in love with this cottage. Well, more so Gemma than Dan. Dan kind of is at the point where he doesn't care anymore because they've seen so many houses, and Gemma always finds fault with everything, even if there is nothing wrong with it. And so they finally find one that she likes, but they cannot afford it. So she decides, well, let's move in with Dan's mum to save money on rent and stuff like that. And so they move in, and that's kind of as far as I've got. One thing I will say though, kind of annoyed me a little bit, is Gemma like flat out just does not listen to Dan whatsoever. So far in the book, like he said, there is no way I want to move back home and live with my mother for like 6 months. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And she didn't listen or care. Like, she told him while they were in bed at nighttime, and the very next morning she handed in their termination of their lease to their landlord. Like, I'm sorry, but do you not care about your partner because you're buying a house together? I think he deserves the right to have a say in what happens. Like, I don't think you should force your partner into doing anything that they're uncomfortable with. And it seems so far that Gemma just does not let Dan have a say in anything so far. I am enjoying the book though, but I noticed that literally straight away. That's basically the first thing that kind of happens in the book. So there is that. And then last night I started and finished Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. And this is the edition that I read. It's a beautiful kids edition. And this one is an abridged edition. So it's got here a abridged adaptation written by Archie Oliver. So it's obviously been revised for a younger audience. So it's obviously not an adult version of this book. It is a kid's version, and I'll show you. This book is beautiful. It has absolutely stunning red end pages with ships on them and treasure. But then it has illustrations throughout the book. Like, you've got the map for Treasure Island. You have Billy Bones going into the inn, and then Jim Hawkins. And in the middle of the book, it does actually have coloured illustrations here. And it's a wonderful little book. It's 157 pages, and I read the whole thing last night. I love children's classics. This is definitely a book that I grew up with, like this story, not this particular edition. I actually picked this edition up from Kmart for like $6, and it's beautiful. It's a hardcover, so It's a wonderful story. I'm definitely glad to have this in my collection. I do have a bunch of others in this line as well. And I actually enjoyed it. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars simply because this is not my most favorite classic, but I still really, really enjoyed it. And I definitely think Treasure Island is well worth a read in whatever form you are able to get your hands on. So basically, that is all of my reading so far. I really want to finish the books that I've got on the go at the moment because it's Wednesday at the moment, like I said, the 22nd. But next week, I think it's Thursday, which is the 30th, is the end of the month. And I prefer not to carry books over into the next month unless I really have to. So I try to finish everything I possibly can before the next month. So hopefully I can do that because I do have another book on the go. I just haven't got it with me right now. It's in the bedroom because I haven't read anything on it since I last updated you about that book. So yeah, it is what it is. So anyway guys, I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to update you later and we'll see how I go with reading. I'm probably going to try and read tonight. I also need to work on the crochet blanket that I'm making for my fiance. I want to get that done before winter kicks in. So we're just over a month until winter. So hopefully I can get all of that finished and everything will be amazing. So yeah. So guys, I will chat to you later. Hi guys, so today is the 29th, I think. Let me double check that. Of April. Yeah, the 29th of April, and I wanted to do a quick update on my reading because I haven't really done much updates lately. I've just been slack. Honestly, that's basically what it is. It's really overcast today, which I'm really happy about because it means that the weather is starting to cool down, and I love when autumn actually feels like autumn because that's pretty rare here in Australia, at least where I live. So anyway, let's get into the books that I'm reading. Now, I've got 3 books on the go and I'm supposed to be finishing these by tomorrow. We all know that's not going to happen because I've been procrastinating. But let's start with this one. So this is The Loveliest Chocolate Shop in Paris by Jenny Colgan. This one, I honestly haven't got any further in this book from the last time I updated you. It's honestly just been not a book that I've been gravitating towards reading versus the other 2 books. I am enjoying it, but I think that I enjoy Jenny Colgan's other books that I've read more than this one so far anyway. So I really need to push myself to read it. I'm only up to 135, so page 135, and it's like 400 something pages long, so I need to get onto that. The next one I'm reading is The Love Shack by Jen Costello. I am up to page 161 in this, and so far I'm enjoying this one. Not much has really happened in it so far, apart from the fact that Dan and Gemma have moved into Dan's mother's house, and she is quite a wealthy woman and she lives in like an actual manor, I guess you could call it, in England somewhere. And they are trying to buy Pebble Cottage, but they don't have the money for it. So they've moved in with Dan's mother to try and help save money to be able to buy this cottage, which, great. The one thing I will say though is Gemma, the girlfriend in this book, kind of really irritates me because the whole way through this book that I've read so far, she doesn't like at all take in Dan's consideration for things or his feelings for things, or even asks him if he's okay with doing things. She just goes ahead and does everything that she wants regardless of what Dan feels, which I think is really, really disrespectful in a relationship. Sorry about all the traffic, you guys. Um, Here in Queensland, they're going to be lifting lockdown restrictions here on Friday midnight, and I think people have already decided that they don't care and they're out and about because there are a lot more traffic today than there has been any other day. So, but anyway, back to this book. Also, another thing that I really disliked is I want to say Dan and Gemma are in their late 20s, so I want to say like 28, maybe 29, which I'm 31, like that's, you're an adult at that point. And Gemma, she is in this pub or whatever to go get a drink on her own. And when she goes in there, she sees her ex-boyfriend and she has like the biggest panic attack, right? And freaks out. Now she's like nearly 30, mind you. And the ex-boyfriend she dated when they were like 15. So I personally think that reaction to that is stupid. You're an adult, for crying out loud. You dated him when you were 15. It's not serious if you're not together now. Also, you're with another man that you supposedly love, and then as you continue on after she escapes out of the pub without him seeing her, she then goes on about how she can't stop thinking about him and how he was the love of her life and this and that, and that kind of really pissed me off because I just think that is so disrespectful to your partner. Also, you dated when you were 15 and you're not together. Now, I'm not saying that like dating when you're 15 is not real or anything like that. It definitely is. I met my partner when I was 16 and we've been together ever since. So yes, you can definitely fall in love, sure, but I just think her reaction to something that obviously wasn't serious because they're not together anymore, they didn't date for very long, and you also haven't seen this other person for nearly 15 years and you're in a committed relationship and buying a house with another person, I think is just really disrespectful to your partner. And the behavior of like her and how she's constantly thinking about this guy and about how he was the love of her life is just ridiculous. So I haven't got any further than that so far. Okay, did I see what page I was up to this one? 161. Now, onto this one, The Inn at Eagle Point by Cheryl Woods. This one, I'm on page 198. I am really enjoying this book. This book is probably the one I've read the most out of the three so far. There were a couple of little things in here that did annoy me, but first I'll start off with what this one's about. So Abby O'Brien, or Abby Winters, she used to be Abby O'Brien, used to live in Chesapeake Shores with her family. When she was 17, her mother and her father split up, and her father stayed behind, but her mother left her and her brothers and sisters on their own and took off to New York. And basically never came back for them. So you can imagine what that would do to a child, having their parent take off like that. And so Abby, I guess, has had to be the strong one in the family because their father also is an architect and he designed Chesapeake Shores, the little town that they live in. But he also works away from home all the time, so he wasn't there. So their grandmother basically raised them. Then Abby, when she graduates from school and I guess university, takes off to New York to become someone like important in finances, and she works on Wall Street. Now she gets married, she has 2 kids, and then she gets divorced, and then yada yada yada. So about 10 to 15 years later, she's still very close with her family. She gets a phone call from her youngest sister that says that she desperately needs help and Abby needs to come back home and help her immediately. It's a life or death situation. Basically what it is Jess, her youngest sister, has bought this inn and had zero concept of money, like none. or just really zero concept of life in general. Jess was diagnosed with ADD, and she doesn't take any medication for it or anything like that. She doesn't take anything to help her focus or any of those types of things. So she constantly is skipping from one thing to another to another to another because she just doesn't focus on anything because of her ADD, which is totally fine. I have a stepsister and a stepbrother who has ADD, and so I definitely understand how hard it can be. But I also know that my stepsister, who has ADD, is a fully functioning human being in society. She is an aged care nurse, she's married, she owns her own house, she has 3 children. Like, she doesn't let her ADD stand in the way of her achievements. Like, if she wants something, she achieves it. Whereas Jess, on the other hand, uses it as an excuse as to why she's always failing at things in life. And she always uses it as an excuse as to why people shouldn't be expecting more from her, right? So she buys this in with, I guess she got an inheritance or whatever, and she basically pays no attention to the bills, no attention to the loans, no attention to how much money she's spending on everything, doesn't pay any attention to how long she's taking to rebuild the inn and everything like that, and the bank is now threatening with foreclosure, and her sister Abby has come to save her basically. And when Abby gets there, the bank is run by I wouldn't say a family, I guess a family friend, and the son of the bank's owner is actually the boy that Abby was in love with before she left, and she told him that she loved him and then took off without a word because she didn't want to be held back from her dreams, right? So that guy is now here, and he is handling the foreclosure of the inn. And so I guess there's kind of a little bit of revenge between Trace, the guy, and Abby. And he decides that he is putting Abby in charge of all of the finances of the inn, and she is not allowed to return to New York until he is satisfied with the bank's interest, basically. So that's kind of at that point, right? So that's basically all you need to know. So Abby's there, staying obviously in Chesapeake Shores with her 2 children. She has twin girls. Now, a couple of things that annoyed me about this is, first off, her twins get measles, right? Because they're not vaccinated. Now, she says in this book that she didn't vaccinate them at the time because the twins were premature or whatever, so their immune systems weren't able to handle it, which is totally fine. There are definitely children out there that can't be vaccinated for medical reasons, which I'm totally fine with. However, when your child gets better and their immune system is totally fine with, which they are now, they're healthy, I think 9 or 10-year-old girls. No, a little bit younger than that. No, I don't know why I'm thinking 9 or 10 years old. I think they're actually like 6. About 5 or 6 years old. I don't know where I got 9 or 10 from, but they're healthy now. Their immune systems are fine. They're not like, they're not little tiny babies anymore. And so, in my opinion, she definitely should have had her kids vaccinated. Vaccinations are important. So her kids get the measles, and she says in there, "Oh, I didn't get them vaccinated because of their immune system, but also I heard that vaccines cause autism." Now, when I read that, that made me so mad. I have an autistic stepbrother. I also have an autistic sister. Vaccines don't cause autism, for crying out loud. Oh my god. No one really 100% knows what causes autism, but it's not vaccines. But autism is a part of your genetics.
It's a genetic, you're born with it. You don't, it's not caused by vaccines, for crying out loud. And when I hear people say stupid things like autism is caused because of vaccine, it makes me so mad and infuriated, because you know what? I know quite a few people out there that haven't vaccinated their children, and guess what? They have autism. So, you know, that just like really made me mad. Like, why would you risk the health of your children? Like, it just makes me mad. And then also, one other thing that makes me mad is Jess, the younger sister, is constantly trying to force her older sister and Trace, the guy that Abby ran out on, back together so that they will leave her and her in alone. Which infuriates me, because like, you don't mess with people's relationships. Yes, they might still love each other, but if they don't want to be together, they don't want to be together right now. It's none of your business if they get back together, or if they should be together, or if they're long lost loves, or whatever. You don't mess with someone's life like that. Also, the fact that Trace has zero concept of messing with people's lives. Like, he forced Abby to be in charge of the inn and said that one of the stipulations of it, like one of the stipulations of the bank not foreclosing on the inn is Abby has to stay in Chesapeake Shores, right? And he didn't even care at the fact that Abby has her own life and her own career back in New York. She has kids that she shares custody with her ex-husband. He never cared about that. He didn't care about how much forcing her to do something like that would disrupt her life. Which I think, if someone did that to me, I wouldn't give two hoots whether you were the love of my life or whatever. You're out. I'm sorry, but if you don't care enough about me, like if you say you care about me and you're the love of my life, if you don't take into consideration that I have a career, I have kids, I have all these responsibilities, then as far as I'm concerned, that's not good enough. Like, you don't love me. Like, that's so irritating. Like, so infuriating. I actually feel like I'm infuriated by all of these books at the moment, because I just feel like some of these characters make some of these stupidest mistakes. And I'm like, you're in your late 20s, your 30s, like, you're adults. Stop acting like you're a bunch of 12-year-olds in some little high school fucking love triangle. Excuse my swearing, but that's like basically what it is in these books. So, yeah. So they're infuriating. But that is all I have been up to. I haven't finished any of them. I'm gonna definitely try and finish at least one of these by tomorrow. Normally, I hate carrying on books into a new month because I like to start fresh, but I don't think I'm going to be able to finish them all. I have my bullet journal here with me. And I think what's going to happen is I am going to try and finish at least one of them and then carry the other two into the new month, and they will become my free reads. So if you're new to my channel and you've never heard me talk about my reading, I'll flip through to May. Like this, I have every month set myself 16 different prompts for my reading, and this is to try and help me read more and also read books on my bookshelf that I've never read before. So I've got 16 different prompts, so I choose 16 different books, and then I have a free read, meaning that I can pick a book that's not on the prompt to read if I'm really not feeling the 16 books that I've already picked. However, if I don't finish a book from the previous month, that then carries over into the new month and becomes my free read. So I have a feeling that two of these, at the very least, are going to be free reads. I personally think I'll probably finish this book, and then these two will become my free reads. We shall see. I'm going to try. I have picked out some of the books for May, but I still need to pick, let's see, 7 more books. I haven't picked them all yet. I did sign back up to Kindle Unlimited. That's about $14 a month. because I had cancelled it when I was out of work because of Corona, but we are lifting restrictions here in Queensland, and there are quite a few other states in Australia that are lifting restrictions as well. So things are going to start opening up. So at the moment, we haven't been given an official date, but the rumor is that I could be going back to work between the 11th and the 15th of May. So, you know, we don't know yet. And then I want to show you, I have finally gotten into the knitting. Let's see. So I have knitted this sock. I'm almost finished. I made this a little bit bigger than what you would normally make a sock for my shoe size, because I have quite sensitive feet and I don't like feeling like the fabric on my feet, like socks, are too restrictive. So I made these a little bit looser fitting for myself because I'm just going to be wearing these at home in my slippers. I won't be wearing knitted socks out because I walk way too heavy and I would ruin them. And this yarn is like $35, so but I have knitted the sock, so that is a sock there. I used I believe it's called a Turkish cast on to do the toe. I think the toe is a little bit too squared off for my liking, so I may try and start a smaller amount and see if that fixes anything. I don't know. I am using the Northern Lights colorway from Ruby Fox Yarns. It is so soft, it's so beautiful to work with. I did use the Fish Kiss Lips heel pattern as well. And I am not following a pattern at all for these socks. The only pattern I used was for the heel. The rest, it's all, I'm winging it basically. So I did use, like I said, the Fish Kiss Lips heel pattern. I did purchase that off of Ravelry. And I think I did okay with that. I did manage though on one side to get this tiniest bit of a hole on the side where you come out of the heel and you're starting to go up into the leg. But it is what it is. It's only a small hole, and I'm still learning knitting. Like, I've only knitted one pair of socks before and I haven't knitted anything else, so I'm literally learning as I go. And then I am doing a cuff now. I'm doing short socks. I would love to wear long socks, but unfortunately I can't because obviously it's pretty obvious I am a bigger person and I have bigger calf muscles. Even when I was skinny, my calf muscles were still bigger. So I just can't wear long socks, unfortunately. As much as I love them and I love the look of them, I have to wear short length socks. So that is what I'm doing. So that's kind of what it looks like. And I'm just doing a 2x2 rib for the cuff. I am going to do the cuff a little bit longer because it doesn't matter if I scrunch those down a little bit, but so far I'm doing pretty good. This is just the first sock. I haven't started the second sock yet because I only have one set of circulars. But I am really impressed on how this is turning out, you guys. So that is everything so far. I will update you later if I do any more reading or knitting. And yeah. So anyway, guys, I will chat to you later. Bye. Hi guys, I am back. So I just wanted to give like a quick update to the end of my reading vlog because I forgot. But I wanted to say, excuse myself, I'm just flipping through my bullet journal so I can tell you what I wanted to tell you. Okay, yeah. So, basically, I did not finish all of the books that I was reading for April. I have 3 books that I needed to finish, which was The Inn at Eagle Point, The Love Shack, and The Loveliest Chocolate Shop in Paris. I did not finish those. I know, I procrastinated. I should have been able to finish them, but I didn't, and you know. But basically, I am deciding that I will continue these on into May, which is what we're in now. But I wanted to give you an update. This book here, I am actually really, really enjoying. It's really cute. It kind of reminds me very much like a Debbie May Chroma, because I read what was it called? I can see yawning, guys. I'm going to yawn a lot. I'm so tired. The Rosa in Harbour. No, the Inner Rose Harbour. Oh my god, you guys. See, I told you I was tired. Well, the characters do different things in the book. The kind of like setting of it all reminds me of that. And I really, really enjoyed reading about the O'Brien family that live in Chesapeake Shores. I know that this is a Hallmark original series, so I may have to check that out because I have not. But I really enjoyed this book so far, and there is just 149 pages left of that I needed to read of that one. And then, let's see, The Love Shack, I'm still obviously reading. Let me just check how many pages I've got. 343 pages. Oh my god. 343 pages left of this. So, I'm enjoying this so far. I will say one thing though. Obviously, this book is set in England, which is fine. A lot of books that I read are set in England, but the slang and just like some of the words they use just is so hilarious. And this is gonna sound probably mean, and I'm not meaning it to be mean at all. I am actually half English. My mum is from England. So I still have plenty of family in England. But what always makes me laugh is when they like swear or like are trying to insult you. It is so funny. It's so funny. Like, I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but like every time I read or like even just hear from my own family like a swear word or like an insult or something about something, I laugh so much because I'm just like, oh, you're so cute. Like, your swearing and insults literally have no effect on us. Because they're not actual swear words. They're just not. Like, I don't even know. I'm not saying, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying English people don't actually use normal swear words. I know they do. But just the ones that they use more commonly is so funny. Then they are so not insulting. Even if you know what they're intending to mean, they're still not insulting. But basically, Dan and Gemma in this book are currently living with his mother. So that's the point in the book that I'm at. And the secondhand car that Dan bought, excuse me, because they're further away from work now, so he needed a car to be able to get to and from work, is actually being used in like a robbery before he bought it. And so he gets pulled over on the highway or whatever by the police and proceeds to spend 2 hours in the police station trying to convince them that he is not the person that did the bank robbery. But yes, so that's what I really got up to in that book. And then in The Loveliest Chocolate Shop in Paris by Jenny Colvin. So I do have about 100 and something pages left of this one. But basically, Anna is in Paris now. She's working in this lovely chocolate shop that's been around since, I believe, the 70s. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing this name right, but Thierry, it's spelled Thierry. He is the master chocolatier and owns the chocolate shop, and he is a big, big man. And Anna and a few of the other characters describes him as a walrus of a man, that he is that big. He is married to an English woman who is absolutely terrible, terrible person. And she, I guess he was trying to find what he had with Claire. Claire is Anna's French teacher back in England, and when Claire was about 15 or 16, she actually went to Paris in the 70s to become like a nanny to this French family. And she met Thierry then, and they fell in love. And unfortunately, because of her age and everything, she did have to go back to England to be with her family and go back to school. And so nothing really ever happened about it, but both of them remained in love with each other through the rest of their lives. Unfortunately, though, they never wrote to each other or called each other or saw each other again. But they still remained in love with one another. Claire is now dying from cancer, and Thierry has had a major heart attack and is in hospital. And so his wife that he has now is, I'm just going to say it, she's a bitch. And so Thierry's son, that Thierry and Thierry's son have like a really bad relationship. A, because Thierry is such a perfectionist and always, I guess, insults his son about the way he does things, but also because Thierry left his mother for this English woman who turns out to be a terrible person, and Laurent, his son, hates her with a passion and doesn't want anything to do with her. And so because obviously she is in his father's life, they don't see each other. I'm up to the part where Thierry is in hospital after his huge heart attack, and he did have to have stents put in. And it was really sad reading that, because it's like his son clearly wants to have a relationship with his dad. His dad clearly wants to have a relationship with his son. They're both stubborn, but his wife is a conniving bitch. She told Thierry when he woke up from his surgery, when he asked about his son, she told him that he never once visited him in his hospital, but his son had been there every single day, waiting and waiting and waiting for his father to wake up. And then as soon as he did wake up, basically he had to leave because his stepmother was a bitch about it. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm up to with that. I do need to finish those. I also want to show you my knitting. I finished a sock, you guys. So I made the sock bigger than what I would normally wear, simply because I have really extremely sensitive feet, because I have like the bones in my feet spur off, and they splinter away, and there's a few other things wrong with my feet as well. I mean, they look perfectly normal, but they're just really, really sensitive. So I do not like wearing too tight of a sock. So because I'm not going to be wearing these out and about in shoes, I'm just going to be wearing them at home during the colder months, I decided to make them a little bit looser and a little bit bigger. So that's what I've done. I just did, I believe it's called Turkish cast on for the toe. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's the easiest cast on that I know, but it's not very rounded. It's kind of more pointed, and I don't know how I feel about that. Let me know what you think. But I used Northern Lights yarn from Ruby Fox Yarns, and it is so soft and so beautiful. I did use the Fish Kiss Lips Heel for this. I actually did not use a pattern for this sock at all. I winged it. I know, for someone who's never, I've only knit one pair of socks before, and I did follow a pattern. This is the second thing I've ever knit in my life, and I didn't even follow a pattern. And then I just did a 2x2 rib for the ankle. It is a little bit wider. I don't know why it turned out that way. If you know, let me know, because like I said, I'm literally still learning here. I have no idea. But I like it. I think it turned out pretty cute. I did make it an ankle sock because, unfortunately, when you're a bigger person, like I am, you do not have small calf muscles, or at least I know I don't. And so I cannot wear long socks because my calf muscles are too big. So I decided to make it an ankle sock, and I think it turned out pretty great. So that's what it looks like. I did have a small tiny hole on this side, but when I cast off the ribbing, I left a huge tail to stitch it in, and then I went down the side and stitched up the hole. That seemed to have worked. And I did do a stretchy bind off as well, so I think I did a pretty good job. And then I have started on the second sock. I think it's turning out pretty good so far. I haven't really had any issues so far, so yeah, so hopefully I can get that done pretty quickly. But that's everything, you guys. That's kind of my update. But yeah, so anyway, guys, that's everything. I will update you with my reading later. Oh, I'm so tired, you guys. So tired. So yeah. Oh, actually, no, I won't update you with my reading later in this video. This is the end of this one. But I will update you for the future readings. So yes. So anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.